Hey, check it out. I got a toy.
Oh, yeah, I probably do too. Give me a second. Is that the lizard?
It's a lizard. Yeah.
Is it Marvel Legend?
So I definitely just wanted to be an ass. So,
Yeah, I figured as much.
but yeah, go.
Did you get that at the secondhand shop?
No, I found it in my garage. I forgot I had it.
Oh,
I have a box of old school toys out of the boxes that I'm playing with. I'm like, oh, my daughter likes playing with some of them, and now I'm sitting there playing, going, I could do. We need to do like a stop motion like intro to our show, like have all the characters, and just it'll be fun to screw around and try to set that up.
yeah, I saw a stop motion that you made last
Yeah,
week.
I've been playing around just some of that, but it's a new comic book week. We always like talking comics. Did you hit the shops at all?
I did not. I did go to the public library
Oh,
and load it up with trades that I never see in the wild.
yeah.
So that was cool.
Okay, that's like the public library to read, like check out and read, or was it like a sale?
No, to go check out and read because there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to buy
Yeah.
unless it's good, and I hate reading stuff online.
Mm.
So I was like, well, and with gas being so expensive, I was like, man, I'm gonna stop at 4 places when I leave the house. So I hit up the local library, and they had tons of graphic novels that I've never seen or thought about reading because I'll see it somewhere and be like, I'm not paying $10 for that.
Oh yeah.
So that was cool. That was a good thing. I got a bunch of Scotty Young written stuff.
Like Bully Wars and I Hate Fairyland.
Yeah. And I got something called Winnebago Graveyard.
I've seen it, but it's like you said, I would never pay for it.
Right.
I just until I know what it's about. Maybe then.
It's good.
Is it?
Yeah, I was shocked, and then I looked up the artist because I'd seen her name. It's like Alison Sampson, but I'd never like seen anything by her really.
Yeah.
She's doing Sleeping Beauties.
Okay.
That comes out next week. So I was like, oh, I just read something by her. That's cool. It's great. It's by Steve Niles, who's kind of hit or miss, but
he dabbles in that horror. So sometimes it's good horror. Sometimes it's like, okay,
yeah,
you're dragging it out.
Yeah. This was 4 issues from Image, like in 2017 or something.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. The colors were great. So yeah, that was probably the biggest find from the week.
Let's see here. I got my stack beside me. I got this, which is evidently of the set, the Women of Marvel. I was stoked on it, and thankfully the LCS actually had pulled it for me. I can't remember if I told them to, or if they just knew that that's the one I wanted.
That's funny.
Picked up Radiant Red, just because this is what we're going to talk about. I picked up Avengers Forever. It cracks me up, and it'll be on one of the slides we show. This was the hot book last week, the sneaky hot book, like a $10, $15 book. I mean, I got it for cover, but because there's a girl Moon Knight in this book, and it's the first appearance of this particular girl Moon Knight, but people are all, it's a girl Moon Knight. I'm like, wait, Kang the Conqueror had a girl Moon Knight, and there's a Marvel Knights 2099 or whatever has a girl Moon Knight. So like, how is it the first girl Moon Knight if there's been 2 others?
Right.
So
it's the first one since people have started to pay attention to Moon Knight.
That is it. And because someone didn't know any of the other ones, so they just, which is so funny to me because Kang the Conqueror came out 6 months ago.
Right.
So it's not like it's
not long ago at all.
Yeah.
But there's been a trailer for a show, so now everybody's like all about
it. I did grab Little Monsters. I have not read it yet.
So. I haven't read it yet either.
And
I haven't been out to buy it. I assume, like most indie stuff, it will be there when I go look.
Oh yeah. Well, and I did grab the incentives for We Live Black and White. Nice. I haven't read them yet. So I think I actually ordered them from another store too. I'm not quite sure. So I'm like, where am I going to read it from? And then I did get Hit Me because the cover is great,
Yeah.
Did not know what the story was about. It's a you have to be prepared to. It's all about basically to her. Let's see, her calling card. She works at casinos as a sex worker who not professional pain slut is her job description. So it was actually a really good story. Like I'm gonna probably check out issue 2. It just threw me off. I wasn't crying. I don't know why. I was like, okay, but it's one of those. It caught you just like Saga caught you. It was like, oh, and then you keep reading. You're like, I just want to know what the heck this talking about. Like it costs you $50 to hit me if you leave a mark. I'm like, wait, what? What did I just? What type of book did I just pick up?
Yeah, that's a curveball.
Yeah. So let's throw this up here. Oh, not that way. So let's look at some books. There's of course some of the bigger books. It's a light week, which is I'm actually thankful for. So I don't go out and spend 50, $60 on the week or whatever. And I usually have self-control, so I don't. And compared to Joe, you have better self-control than I do. So this would be a week that if you're gonna skip, you skip.
Yeah.
But there are some books worth checking out, and some of them are just fun. Yeah. So Hotness from last week or Hotness from yesterday, books that came out. Avengers Forever came out 2 weeks ago. We just spoke about that. I showed you the book. Captain Carter animation book. We knew that was going to be a popular book.
Yep.
And the Han Solo, Chewbacca, Adam Hughes, the 1 for 50. It's just because it's the 1 for 50. But from what I understand, his dad is in this. So you get to meet his dad. I'm not sure if it's a cameo or if it's a full conversation. I haven't read it, so I can't. I'm just going based off what I heard. And there's another character as well. So that makes it Han Solo's dad, not Chewbacca's dad.
Right.
That makes it worth it to me. That's probably why it has a little bit of heat to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, stores knew it is an Adam Hughes cover, so most stores probably got at least one, if not two, of the 1 for 50s. I'm not sure if this is the big book this week. It's just I love these 2 1 for 25 Chip Kid covers. I mean, that's one of the classic panels from Batman where he's smacking Robin.
Yeah.
And now you get it. It's been done by hundreds of different homage, different ways, but now you get one where Superman's smacking Batman, then you get one where Batman's smacking Superman.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I looked at all the covers for this. I actually liked the Jim Lee, which I haven't said that in 10, 15 years, I feel like.
Yeah. No, and Jim Lee was, and I think there's a 1 for 50 as well. This Art Germ is just a card stock. I have no clue if Art Germ, if Supergirl or Batgirl are actually in the book at all.
Right.
From the reading the solicitation, I don't think they are, but it's Art Germ doing Supergirl and Batgirl. And Art Germ's Batgirl, especially the Batgirl with blonde hair, is one of his most expensive covers to track down. Batgirl 12, I think. So there could be some value in that, but at the same time, every speculator has gone crazy. I mean, I just saw a picture on Facebook of Black Panther 3, the second print that came out last week.
Yeah.
It sells for $5. I mean, it sells for cover. Some dude had bought, looked like 60 copies. He just had like spread out on his bed. I'm just like, how the hell? Like, I mean, spec buy 5 copies. Buying 60 copies, I mean, I don't know. Unless you're a store and you get some sort of sweet deal or something.
Right.
I mean, that just amazes me when people do that. Yeah. Speaking of, some people probably going to do that for this book, Carnage. People love Carnage.
Who?
Yeah. I mean, even with the terrible movie that no one liked, which I haven't actually seen it, so maybe it was good. And
I haven't watched it either. Oh, that's terrible.
The Venom was just so bad.
I thought so too.
I mean, there's parts of it I liked, but overall, Venom was just so bad. It was also the Tom Hardy I don't like. I mean, just like I don't like Tom Hardy as Bane.
Right, that's fair.
But
I did go see the Batman, however.
Ooh, worth it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've only seen one article or one reviewer that didn't like it, and that was Bleeding Cool, who evidently doesn't like any DC movies.
Right. I went Sunday night, hoping there wouldn't be a crowd, and I guess that was word of mouth people who weren't going to go.
Yeah.
And me, and I ordered my ticket on like Friday. It was great. 3 hours long, like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, I that is on my. I definitely gonna try to see it. Just finding the time, but yeah, I haven't heard anything really bad about it, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. So yeah, so Carnage. This is a 1 for 25. Simon Beyonce. I like that in the middle.
Yeah.
And Huck Lee. I mean, you can't go wrong. I think there's probably a Clayton Crane cover. He always does Carnage.
Yeah.
That I like this 1 for 100
Yeah.
where the Carnage rules.
I
Like,
liked the Dan Panis whatever.
was that the? Yeah, he does. I mean, it's always so hard. I'm not showing them all.
Yeah,
Just
because
go.
there are a million, like
Yeah.
World's Finest as well. I mean, you can tell, like, I don't remember who it was that I was listening to talk, but they're like, if they put 1,000 covers on it, they think it's something. And if
Yeah.
they put a B cover, they don't think it's anything anymore. They're not behind you. And it was like, it was some writer who was pissed that his book they didn't support and they only gave it a B. And then some other book came out that had like 50 covers, and he was like, man, give me 3 covers. Like, how hard is this? I thought that was a weird, like, I'd never thought about it from the writer's perspective.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I mean, now there's a catch to it. And number one issues are different. So like, it's what Marvel and DC they just pump. Well, I don't know. DC doesn't quite as much, but Marvel definitely does. Every number one issue seems like it has. I mean, hell, when Amazing Spider-Man reboots in a couple of weeks,
Right.
I mean, I've already seen the number of store variants, and I think the Carnage you're talking about is actually a store exclusive. Now that I think about it, and that's the tricky thing is like
Right.
it's so hard for us on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before doing the show, going what covers are actually coming out the stores and what covers are exclusives, and because you hit like the Carnage, I think had like 20 something covers.
Yeah, it's a
World's
lot.
Finest had several. I'm not sure if there's quite as many store exclusives, but there were a bunch of covers as well for it. I don't know. Carnage, if you like Carnage, you're going to check out the books. If you're burned down on Carnage, then don't. I mean, that's sort of how I approach when it comes to things like Carnage.
Who's writing it? I didn't even look.
Ram V. That's the only reason to check it out. I was like, there's something that I want to see. Looks like Ram V and Michelin, like the guy who wrote Venom. Dave, is it David? Yeah, David Michelin or Machine Lee. I don't know how you say his name.
I don't either.
It seems like Ram V is always like partnered up with someone at first, and then he just takes it.
Yeah,
because that's how he did. He started Venom. He was partnered with Al Ewing, but I think it's Al Ewing like gave him the story frame, and he just ran with it. Guys, it was hard to find some like covers that we really liked that we like. So I'm pulling some random things. This Avengers 54, Avengers 53 was a hot book, a popular book because Black Panther had a red costume or something like. This book, the Deathlocks from whatever version are attacking, and supposedly all the Avengers are going to die, and there's going to be an Avengers Prime or something like that. I mean, when I say die, it's comic book death, so that means they last about half a panel. But this cover is just sort of fun. Joe was saying that Deathlock freaks the hell out of him sometimes, and this is a great one where he freaks the crap out of him. I mean, he's like dead zombie Deathlock. I haven't not been reading Avengers to know what's going on. You do get a Catwoman every for the next, I think, probably 4 or 5 issues. So Makaya has the 1 for 25s. Not a fan of this one.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. Now there's one coming up. I think it's her and Harley on the cover. I believe I do sort of like it. I think it's issue 42 or 43. I think it's 43. But yeah, I mean, and just like everything, the first cover is going to be the one for issue 39. I think it was. It's going to be the one to have, and then it's just which ones you like after that.
Yeah.
Then Batman the Night. You're reading this. I need to read this. I like this cover. It's just sort of.
Yeah, I like all the covers for this week, month, whatever.
Yeah. And there are no incentives. There are just I think there's an A, B, and a C because all the Batman themed books have a Batman movie theme cover.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one is Raphael Albuquerque, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the red and black.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I saw him release on Batman Day or whatever it was to the show. Some more that we sort of liked. I like this Nightwing. Like
Yeah.
I've said before, I've liked Tom Taylor's run on Nightwing. I have read up until whatever the issue was, where it was like you could tear every page out and make one big long story.
Oh yeah.
Um,
38.
so, so I'm a couple of issues behind, but I like
78.
this cover. I love the dog. I think the dog is just sort of like to me, it's like Lucky the dog from Hawkeye. And also, if you haven't read it, it's Nightwing not battling demons everywhere or battling like a Batman. It's like, hey, I'm a wealthy guy trying to make it good in the city with people knowing who I am. Like it feels like everything revolves around the building and revolves around like him
Hmm.
in life, like the Hawkeye run. So I do like it. Um, Basilisk, it's Jenny Frison. Every time they start a new arc, she gets a 1 for 25 cover. It seems like on any Boom book. Like if you follow Boom at all, it seems like if it makes it to issue 6, 7, or 8, wherever they're going to start over, she gets to do a 1 for 25 cover, and they're starting a new arc. Um, did you check out any of these? The
No,
Basilisk?
I, I I've noticed they have pretty good covers.
They do.
Uh,
It's
the
I read
interior's
issue
not grabbing me though.
no the red issue 1. It wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't. It didn't catch me, I guess is the way to say it. I don't want to say it's bad. It just didn't catch me.
Yeah.
And I don't think it caught a lot of people because the buzz is gone away from it and it's not picking up. Like Something's Killing Children, but Boom wasn't Boom then. Boom was just Boom was the fifth, probably sixth publisher at the time. Then Something's Killing Children destroyed the world during the pandemic. And now every Boom book gets all this huge buzz and everyone checks it out and reads it. And sometimes you get us the Mini Deaths of Layla Starr, which is great, Ram V.
Yeah, I
And
love
then
that book.
you get an Eve, which is okay. But then you get like the Basilisk and some of the other ones, and you're like, I mean, okay, it's just like reading some of these Image books. It doesn't catch you, and that's what I feel about this one.
Yeah.
And Rad Wraith, just because.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
It's
I really want to look at that book
yeah,
in my hand.
like if the interiors use these colors throughout the entire thing, then it will just be fun.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't use the colors, then I'm not as like, huh. But yeah, it will not be it will if it's made into a cartoon, wow. But I mean, like I don't foresee this being anything spec wise as far as movie TV news. This is just for fun. This is some guy got to make a comic, and it almost feels like our fifth and sixth grade selves getting to make a comic in the 80s.
Exactly.
Indie Spotlight, a book that I've never highlighted before, but I just really like this cover. Time Before Time. I read issue 1, and that's all I read. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but it evidently does well enough to make it to issue 11. Now, I don't know. Image is always tricky because you pretty much, when you sign up to do an Image book, you're guaranteed 3 books, or you walk in with your story, basically. And so I don't know if they had already had 12 issues decided upon or whatever. Because I haven't heard buzz about this at all. Like about as far as people, I've heard a few people like it, and I've seen people checking out and like buying the book, like it's just in their pool. But I have books in my pool that I forget to tell them I don't want them in my pool anymore.
That's true. Who's writing and drawing that?
It's Declan that we like.
He's got a following.
Yeah,
people like him.
And then I guess McConnell. I don't know who that is. I think Declan's probably he's the name drawing people in.
Right.
And then I'm not sure if he's writing and drawing or if he's sometimes the cover that's his cover that we're looking at here. But yeah. So, and then we have a new issue number 1, Slumber. This is all about like going into people's dreams and looking for like a cop story set in people's dreams.
Yeah, kind of like Freddy Krueger meets Time Cop or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably check out and look at issue 1. It looks like it could be fun.
I mean, anytime there's a new anything from Image, I at least try to flip through it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you never know when you're going to get the next saga.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't. Yeah, I mean, I usually end up picking up one of them. Sometimes I might wait a week or two, just to see. I mean, thankfully we both have an LCS that usually gets 25 to 50 copies of them.
Yeah, they take care of us when it comes to the indie number ones for sure.
Yeah, and then it's only when you had to worry about like issue 13 and 14.
Right.
But
I'm still looking for like issue 4 of a couple things that they just didn't get because they had 40 copies of issue 3 sitting there.
Yeah, and I don't fault the store for doing that, and that's usually because most stores, if you guys don't know how people order FOC and all that type of stuff, they do basically two months in advance is sort of how they do it, and then the numbers drop unless people are buying the book. So, speaking of a book that people didn't buy, then started buying, then sort of tapered off, Stillwater. This is a one shot. I've read the first arc. Maybe I have I think I almost have everything after the first arc. I have the trade of the first arc, and I have issue 1. It's a good story. I guess it's sort of. I mean, it's not an original story, but it's a good story.
Yeah.
It's basically it reminds me of the Lottery and the Village, or also combined.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're at. I think we're not going to find a whole lot of new.
Yeah,
it's just what we're going to have to do is find quality, and there's a lot of noise in the world today. So,
so guys, like I said, that's it. We don't have a ton. We're going to look at here are all the incentives. None of them, like, I'm not going to beat down to get to my store on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Friday to go and get any of these books. I'm not even sure if I'll call my LCS to say, hey, will you throw that in a box for me? None of them really jump out at me. We talked about the ones we liked. I do like this cover. I have not read any of the Regarding the Matters of Oswald's Body.
Yeah, me neither.
But I love
like this cover a lot.
I mean, he's become for me. Ben Oliver's the same way. Like you see their covers and you go, man, he has that classic feel.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to do faces the right way and also emotion and action. I mean, and I'm so happy. Yes, EM is getting he's getting more and more covers. I mean, like he started off doing The Strain, and now he's getting Moon Knights and Conan and Hulk, and so he's moved up in the world. And then so a few more incentive variants. I mean, Rain. I didn't read issue 1. It's a freaking nutso concept. We're talking about that. In fact, it actually rains nails, or sharp, spiky things. I'm not sure if they're actually nails.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I'm looking, there's a couple other books, but yeah, nothing that jumped out. I'm like, when we scroll through, it was almost like, do we even do a show? It's like, there's not a lot to talk about, not a lot of books that excite us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we missed something, but yeah, I mean, there's stuff I'm gonna go get.
Yeah,
but probably not on Wednesday. Like I'm gonna go get it to read because I've got the others,
Yeah.
So you're kind of in I want that book, but it's $5 that will be gone.
Yeah. So, Joe, I gotta share. I've had a couple new comics beside. Of course, I always dig when I dig. So I think I shot you the photo, but this is something for you guys that.
Oh my gosh!
Trade paperbacks sometimes have huge value, and stop whenever you see a horror paperback. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. It's an Eric Powell cover. Sells between $100 and $150. And then I found the issue 2 or trade paperback 2 that sells for $60. I paid $9 and $10 for these. And then I also found a Friday the 13th that sells for like $35. I paid $8. So digging through your used trade paperbacks can sometimes find you some good stuff. And horror, if you don't know horror comics, they are hugely collectible. People go crazy, especially for those three, especially for Freddy and Jason, and then you throw Mike Myers in there. Those are the big ones. If you find those, give them a chance, look them up, see what they are, and just a lot of them have more value. And of course, it's all about if I'm paying $5 and it's a $10 book, is it worth it? Only for a PC. But if I'm paying $9 for $100 trade, yes, that's worth it to hopefully sell that. And hey, if you want it, message me. Hey, we can work out a deal. But One other book I found that is one of those weird grails that you just want to look. Found this today. Not sure if you know what this is. This is Batgirl 28 steampunk variant. I actually found a couple of them, but that steampunk variant is one of two that are highly sought after, and everyone wants them. There's the Wonder Woman, and that one. I actually wrote an article a while back about them. But that goes for last sale of that one. There's one listed for $250, and there's exactly, and the one sold for $150. So I found it for $2.25.
Nice.
So digging through your back issue bins at stores, at used bookstores, and all those different places, you can find some gems. Looking through there. Now I made the mistake. I bought books that weren't even worth the $3 or $4 I was paying at the same time. But when you find a book like that, you're like, oh, but now the question is, do you hold on to it because you have a $200 book, or do you sell it because you have a $200 book you don't care about? I mean, that can pay for a book I actually want, but it is sort of cool to find those types of things.
Yeah. Wow. I would have been past that so fast.
Well, I actually sat and watched a guy. I was standing beside him. He was going through it, and he went right by it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to get it. And then I showed him afterwards, and I was a little mad because Batgirl actually has 3 or 4 books in that run. That's the New 52 run. The other one that everyone wants is the Batgirl 19, I think it is, or 39. Batgirl 39. It's she's Purple Rain. It's the Purple Rain homage cover.
Yeah.
All the rest of those movie homage covers are at the most worth $5 or $10, but that particular one is like $40. So he almost didn't grab it, and then someone beside him went, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Damn you! Don't say anything." And he wasn't going to pick it up, but no, it's all good. Joe, you got anything you want to say?
No, man. I mean, it's kind of nice to have a very light week.
Yeah, I mean, not having to talk a whole lot about books, not have to try to convince you to buy books. Guys, go to your store, buy what you like. I loved your comments. Joe, I did mail off the book. The contest winner, I got it.
Okay.
He is mailed off to him. Maybe next time we do a contest, we preface it by being live in the United States. Dude lived in London. But at the same time, hey, I sent him a book. He won the contest. He did what we wanted.
I knew we were popular somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that watch us somewhere, and maybe he's watching now.
It was London. That's where they're watching this. Jeez.
So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for catching the show. See you next week.